Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar, Making IT Work Smarter, Faster and More Efficiently with AI. I am Fatima today and I am very excited to be your host for today's insightful session. As we all know that ITSM is crucial for organizations to deliver more efficiently and effective IT services. Today, team of experts from Atlassian and enreap will showcase how Atlassian's IT features within Jira Service Management can significantly enhance ITSM by processes by automating routine tasks and also offering predictive analytics. Joining us today, we have our team, Aradhna Arora. She is the Principal Partner Solution Strategist, ITSM Epic at Atlassian. We have Shrikant. He is the Regional Manager, Southeast Asia from enreap. We have Hardik, who is the Lead Consultant from Atlassian, for Atlassian ITSM at enreap, and Halima, who is the Consultant Lead for Atlassian. Here is a quick snippet of what we will be covering for today's session. So Shrikant will provide us with an overview of enreap and its expertise in IT transformation. Hardik and Halima will share the core features of Jira Service Management and how it can streamline your IT operations. Aradhna, she will showcase a powerful IT capabilities within Jira Service Management and how they can enhance your team's efficiency and effectiveness. Before we dive in, a few housekeeping items I want to share with you. Feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions. We will be happy to reply you with an answer. We will be doing a quick and dedicated Q&A session at the end of the webinar. You can paste your questions if you have any in the chat box. We encourage you to participate in the poll that we will be sharing throughout the session to make our session interactive. Also, please take a moment to fill out the survey form that we'll be sharing at the end of the webinar. I would like to introduce Shrikant, and Shrikant, could you please take over from here?
Thanks, team. Very good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining the webinar. So my name is Shrikant, and I'm the. I just wanted to give just brief about me. I'm the regional manager for enreap. So I know that what enreap is doing over here. So I mean, before we go about enreap, I think we are partners with Atlassian. We are the Atlassian Platinum Solution partners. But when it comes to enreap, we were the partners in your digital transformation journey to help to achieve the operation delivery excellence. So we predominantly work with the end customers to ensure their operation delivery excellence over there. And with the help of the complete advantage to envisioning and executing the technologies enabled operations, it may be agile, traditional or multi-speed or IT enterprise, we help the customers to achieve their end goals with operational excellence. And when it comes to the enreap, we do have a presence in India, Singapore, Dubai, US, and Malaysia, with headquarters in India, and we do have presence in Singapore. When it comes to the number of the clients, I think we predominantly working with almost around 600 to 800 customers across the globe with 10 plus industries, keeping the BSFI, telecom, and manufacturing a couple of prior industry which you work. And overall, we have 11 plus years of experience in the industries, and with almost 80 plus certified expertise of Atlassian, we are across the globe. And as I mentioned that we are partnered with Atlassian, and apart from Atlassian, we are partnered with AWS, Planview, JetBrains, JFrog, Monday, GitLab, Sonar. So anything across those tools or those products, we work closely with the OEMs to ensure that we deliver the right output for the customers. And a couple of Atlassian products, I think most of the customers or most of the people who join today, I think they are using the Atlassian products across the various streams. But just I wanted to give a glance that the products like from Jira, Align, Compass, Confluence, Bitbucket, Atlassian Guard, Trello, Jira Products Discovery, and Jira Service Management. So today's webinar will be more about Jira Service Management, how the ITSM flow or this Jira Service Management works across the complete ITSM landscape on the overview of it. So we help our customer. I think I said about the operation delivery excellence, but how we try to leverage our offerings. I mean, we do work on Agile and DevOps with the help of the Atlassian tools and more from the Jira Alliance, Jira Software, and Bitbucket and Bamboo. And cloud, we do work for more about infrastructure of AWS, which we work, and ITSM is the one which we work with Jira Service Management. And this is what we will go to the webinar. More will discuss focus on ITSM, and even we do on PPM is more about big picture and sorry, is more about portfolio management and even the big picture of the complete projects, or even we work with a plan view to get the PPMs. So these are the couple of offerings, and this is more about where we focus or where we work. So we work into more about discovery, assessment is post sales, and where we do the consulting over those tools, and where we do solution architect or designing as the tools as per your offering, as per your needs, and where do we develop and maintenance those tools across it, and we do manage the product management, and even we work for the reselling of over there. And a couple of other things, training, tech support, managed services, which are the couple of offerings which we do across the all the tools which we mentioned in the above, and more about Atlassian and AWS ecosystem which we work over there. And coming to the next slide, where we have a couple of the customers which are global customers, which, as I mentioned, we work predominantly more in the BSFI, telecom, retail. So these are the couple of logos which we work across industries, but mostly we cover all the categories of industries across the global in the enreap. Yeah, I think I'll hand over to Adik to just give a brief idea of the Jira Service Management, and I will be taking it forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Srikant. Yeah, I think Ruchika, you are running a poll.
Just a minute, we are pulling out the poll. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, please take a moment to fill out to answer the poll, and let's discuss what big challenges you are facing while using your ITSM tool. Let's make this session more interactive.
So the question is, what is the biggest challenge you face when using your ITSM tool? Is it way too complex? Is there lack of customization, integration issues with other solutions, or are you paying massively for an ITSM solution? Yes, maybe we should look at the poll results, Fatima.
Yeah, we will share. Let's see the results.
All right.
Oh.
So I think complexity and integration issues
issues.
standing
People are
high.
facing more.
That's interesting. Complexity and integration issues followed by high cost. All right. Okay. High cost and lack of customization. The ability to basically tailor to the needs of the users. All right. That's interesting.
Let's move to the next slide.
Yes, move to the next. So I think yes, we will be covering the so many features which is related to how JSM is a flexible, and it will be resolving your complexity issue and along with the integration issue. So this is going to be interesting for the people who are facing these challenges. Yeah. So starting with Atlassian JSM, it stand out as a one of the modern service management solution which is available currently. It is designed to bring your development team, IT team, and business team together to increase the collaboration and make your work more effective. So if you are working between development and IT ops and the IT support team, it increase the visibility It also increases the pace of work between both the departments. Parallelly, it also empowers your business teams, the extension across the enterprise. So yeah, so if you can move to next slide, please. Yeah. So, while often it's a perception like, JSM is the kind of, or the any service management is a solution only for the IT team where they can do the incident management, change management, okay, or problem management, etc. But JSM caters to the wide range of team across the different industries. So if we take some example, like be it a HR team who wants to do the onboarding, offboarding, or be it a finance team who wants to do the expense approval, or we want to do the vendor or supplier payment, or marketing team who want to run the campaign, who want to do the project management. So JSM caters to all the team. The good beauty of the JSM is it is a flexible to be designed as per the requirement of the different team, be it a simple ticket creation till the complex process creation. So JSM covers all these areas with its solution. So recently we had a customer whose IT team was very well equipped with the JSM, but they had a legal team who are lacking, like, they work with their customer for the ND and MSA tracking, and they also sometimes works with their third party legal advisor. So they were tracking everything under Excel or email manually. So they leverage the power of the JSM to automate everything within the portal, and they were tracking entire NDS and MSA tracking end to end using the different features of the JSM. So if you can move to the next slide. Yeah, so JSM comes with a lot of features. So here we will be covering the some of the features like what is the self-service portal, how you can use the different AI features in the request from automation rules, what are the virtual agents, the power of the knowledge-based integration with the JSM. So we'll be covering some of the high-level and good features in these upcoming slides. Yeah, next please. Yeah, so this is the one of the good features available by JSM. It provides you the user-friendly interface portal. So some of you might feel like some of the ITSM tool where it is very complex for user to understand, like where I need to raise a request, where I can see a ticket which is raised by me. So the JSM portal is designed in such a way which is a user-friendly for user. It empowers your user experience and also reduce the workload on your agents. So JSM also comes with the new features where you can have the multiple customizable help centers. So for example, let's say if you have multiple teams using the JSM like HR team or the IT team, now they might have the different pressing issues as a time. Let's say there is a new HR policy changes, there is a new government policy changes, in HR want to highlight those on the portal for the time being, or there is a, if we talk about IT team, they are having some global outages, some tool issue, right? So they can tweak the design, and you can entire customize your portal based on your branding needs and based on your the request type needs. So this is a very flexible portal. User can submit a request from here, they can track the status of the request, they can also leverage the power of the knowledge base even before they submit the ticket. So that we will show you in upcoming slides. And one of the more powerful thing about this is it gives you the search box, which is the which uses the Atlassian's inbuilt data driven algorithm and machine learning techniques. So based on your questions which you are asking or ticket you are raising, it will try to find the most relevant article from your knowledge base. Yeah. So moving to next slide. Yeah. So now let's say your team, they want to get started with the JSM, they want to create a project. So JSM provides wide range of templates for different teams. So as you can see in this screenshot, like it provides the template for the various team like marketing, finance, design, legal, and if you select your team, it also gives you the variety of the templates. So it's kind of a jumpstart solution. All you have to do is the select the relevant template which is the most suitable for your team, and you can get started with your project creation. And furthermore, if you want to make the further enhancement, you can easily do that. So this is also time saving. You can use the customized or predefined template available in your JSM portal. Yeah, if you can move to next slide, please. Yeah. So now if this is the one of the very powerful feature by JSM, the customizable and dynamic request form. So here you can design the form in such a way like it is related to two different teams. So for example, if we talk about the conditional logical fields, you can set up the behavior in such a way like, let's say if as a user I am submitting a request and I am filling a certain data, so based on my input it will automatically change the behavior of your form and show you more relevant fields. So for example, if I'm filling something and based on that selection, I need a more detail to be filled out, or based on what I have filled, like I feel like I do not have to need further detail. So you can put the dynamic form. So you can ensure you are taking the right amount of information starting from the scratch. Okay. And unlike some another tool where you might be facing a challenge, like even to make a small change, you have to write a heavy server side script. Sometimes you also have to write client side script. Some tool dependent on those kind of technologies where there is a chances of error, like so either client side script is failing. So even though you have designed your form, it is not reflecting the correct data based on the user selection. So those kind of errors could be eliminated with the JSM forms. It's a kind of low code no code platform. So based on your requirement, agents can easily customize your form, and it can also increase your efficiency. Yeah. So if you can please move to the next slide. Yeah. So now here also similar to what we seen for the project template, JSM provides you the wide range of request type templates to get started. So again, you have the different teams like design, facility team, IT, development team, finance team, etc. So if we take an example of HR team, let's say they want to get started, we want to track the employee offboarding or the onboarding, or we want to track the employee transfer request. So you do not have to start from the scratch, like, okay, what should be my process flow, what kind of data points or fields I have to give to the admin to create all these. All those could be very time taking. So JSM gives you the powerful templates. You just click on that, and it will already give you the entire process flow with the certain set of custom field, and you can get started. So here, not only just inbuilt template, now JSM enable the AI driven request types. So based on the AI, how you can effectively create a different request type, which Aradhana would be just covering in the upcoming slide. So if you can please move to the next slide. So here is the one of the example. Let's say I talk about employee onboarding, right? So you want to set up the onboarding process in the JSM. So as you can see, once you select that template, it gives you the predefined field, like what is the location of the employee, what is the type of the employee, whether it's a full-time employee or a contractor employee, etc. JSM designs this entire form for you, and it will, you can easily get started to start tracking the request. Yeah. So if you can move to the next slide. Yeah. So this is the now one of the powerful feature. You can integrate your existing knowledge base, which is powered by Confluence, with the JSM. So here, if you see this example, let's say I am having some issue with my password reset, and if I raise a ticket, I might need to wait for a couple of hours, and it's a bit urgent. So I'm going to like report a problem, and I'm typing like I am not able to reset Outlook password. So as you can see, based on your knowledge base integration, it is directly showing me, okay, how can you change your Outlook password? And once I click on that particular article, so without leaving the portal, it will open that entire interface, and I can follow all these steps. So even before your problem can become ticket, you can self-resolve your ticket. So now we have seen some of our customer, what happens, like their knowledge base is scattered across different spaces. Like they're like, say we have 3 to 4 spaces where we are managing the document, and right now we can't move everything under one space. So some of the other ITSM tool, there is a challenge, like you can integrate only one space with your one portal. So here JSM is powered in that way, like it has a capability to connect your multiple knowledge based sources within your single project. So once, let's say you have 3 KB sources which you have integrated with your project. So JSM will use the inbuilt algorithm. So when you start searching for that problem, it will automatically find the relevant article from all those 3 spaces. So this is one of the out of box features available in the JSM. Yeah. So if you can move to next slide, please. Yeah. So this is the one of the another features, the customizable queue and priority groups. So this is the kind of one of the good features for the agent. Like let's say you are helping the multiple areas. So if you see this particular example, like it's very easy to create a different form. Let's say I want to create I want to focus on critical incident, and I need a dedicated queue for that. So if you can see here, all I have to do is the select the correct issue type, which is the incident, and the priority, which is the critical. And once you save it, your queue would be ready. So This queue are very transparent and dynamic. So let's say tomorrow there is a new critical incident coming. You do not have to wait and refresh. It's auto updatable. Once the incident is created, based on your selection, it will end up in the particular queue. This makes sure like none of your request is going unanswered. And you can also prioritize to give more focus on the priority tickets, and you can take out the low priority tickets at the later stage. So this is how you can create the customizable queue in the JSM. So if you move to the next slide, please. So this is the one of the good example. Let's say we have a IT operation team, and the operation team is primarily responding to the incident, problem, and change request. So here we have effectively created a queue like open incident, open problem, and open change. So as soon as there is a new incident or a change request created, I do not have to wait or find or anywhere else. It will directly land up in this queue, and I can start acting on that. So this is one of the example. Similar to your different request type or your teams, you can also create a customizable queue based on your priority, severity, your department, your team distribution, etc. Any of your endpoint, you can use and create the customizable queue to track your request more efficiently. So if you can move to next slide.
Hardik, 2 minutes. One of our attendees has raised his hand. So, Yento, can you share your query in the Q&A session so we can answer you from there? Okay. Thank you, Hardik.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. So now this is the further feature of the priority group. So for once you create your queues, you can furthermore divide into priority groups. So sometimes what happens, let's say your team who are supporting in the multiple area or domain. For example, if you take this example, my IT operation team not only support one region, but they are into Apex here and MENA region. And if you create so many queues, sometimes it might be confusing for agent, like which queues, they are responsible to answer. So if I know, like I am supporting to Epic queue currently, all I have to do is choose the Epic priority group, and all the queues which belong to the Epic region would be reflected over there. So that also increase your team efficiency by assigning the correct queue to the correct priority group. And like I said, these are all the auto refreshable. You do not have to go and refresh this. As soon as there are new tickets, it will automatically update over here. So you can take the correct action, like, okay, for this particular queue there are 35 tickets pending. Now I should be focusing on that queue, and one of the queue only two tickets are pending, as you can see. This is one of the live example we are showing you over here. So yeah, next slide please. Yeah. So board view. So this is the one of the recently added feature in JSM. So previously the board view, which was available for the Jira software, now you can also use the power of the Kanban methodology within your JSM portal. So let's say if you want to increase the transparency, you want to use the min max concept of the Kanban, like at a time how many tickets should be, minimum ticket should be there or maximum in a queue. You want to increase the transparency, like how many requests are there in particular request type, or if you want to break down this view based on assignee, like how many tickets are assigned to a particular agent. So you can use your workload distribution easily into this Kanban board view. So this is one of the very good feature introduced in the JSM recent. Yeah. So going to next slide, please. Yeah. So if we talk about the automation rule, like, so as we saw seen in the poll results, people feel like it's very integration issue, and sometimes they also feel it's very complex. So we will see the JSM comes with a very powerful automation rules, and which is also easy to integrate with other tools or other platform as well, which we'll be covering. So automation rules are very easy to build in JSM. It's a kind of a low code no code solution design where based on your certain triggers, condition, and actions, you can build the automation rule. So let's take some example. If you can move to next slide please. So as we have seen in previous slide, right, like JSM gives you the predefined template, the rich template for the project creation or the request type creation. Now JSM also gives the very rich template for the automation rule creation. So let's say if you are having difficulties creating the automation rule to meet your customer requirement, it gives you the vast library of the automation rule. So if you see some of the example, let's say there is an automation rule for change request, and if you see the third rule, I want to make sure like when there is a low risk change request which is approved by CAP team, then I want it to directly approve and move it to the implementation phase. It should be auto approved. So you can use that powerful automation rule. Let's say if you are in a business team and you want to notify the assignee, like this is, you are nearing the due date of your ticket, so it is going to be breached. So you can use the powerful automation rules to notify your stakeholder. Similar way, let's say if you are in the IT and let's say your SLA is breached for a particular incident and you want to escalate your ticket, you can very easily create the escalation rule based on the automation libraries. So if you can please move to the next slide. So here is the one of the automation rule example. So some of you, like let's say we are having an integration issue. Let's take this example. Okay, like I am from development team and I am tracking my repository either in GitHub or GitLab. So I want to create an automation rule like once there is an enhancement ticket or a bug ticket which is created and it is assigned for a development team, I want a future branch or bug fix branch automatically created in GitHub or GitLab. So as you can see, it comes the variety of the inbuilt connector to connect your third-party integration. You really don't have to know the language of any programming language or any scripting language in detail to create the integration. So in this particular example, once the bug fix or enhancement would be created with the and it will meet certain condition, it will automatically create a branch into GitHub or GitLab. So this is the very flexible automation rule you can leverage. So not just this, as you can see, there are also variety of the other automation rule available for your AWS area, Bitbucket, whatever the other tools you are using. If you are using the Confluence, there are variety of the automation rule where you can also create the auto page creation in the Confluence. So many rules it is available within the JSM. Yeah, so if you can move to the next slide. Now, this is the very powerful feature, not just the template. We know there is a template, you can leverage that. Now, JSM provides you the AI powered automation rules. So here, as you can see, you can just ask AI, what you want your rule to do and when you want to run it. So you just type your explanation and AI will take care. It will automatically try to create the automation rule. It will save you a lot of time and you can quickly get started. So like I said, once it creates a rule for you, you can make the minor changes on that one. So you can just try it out. It's a very powerful feature released by Atlassian. Using the AI, you can create the automation rules. So yeah, if you can move to the next slide. Yeah, so here Alama would be covering. So what we covered was the different feature. Now JSM is not just limited to that. It also follow the standard ITSM practices in ITIL standard. So here we won't be covering all the example. We will show you how effectively you can do the incident management using all the standard ITIL best practices. So over to you, Halama.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thanks, Hardik. So today I'm here to give some information about the incident management in JSM. And in the upcoming slides, I'll be showing the next level of incident management in JSM. Please move on to next slide. So yeah, so incident management, that means it refers to a structured approach to managing and resolving incidents that disturb the normal service operation. And the goal is here to restore the services as soon as possible while minimizing the impact on the business. So the next level incident management features are like marking incidents as a major incident. So this will help for us to take immediate action on the incident and ensuring only the critical incidents are prioritized over the routine incidents. And also we can assign this incident to resources to work on it so that ultimately it will lead to a quicker resolution time and the improved service quality. So this is about the major incident in the incident management. So next slide. So this is the next feature, like we can create and send updates to Slack channel directly from the incident. So we can connect JSM to a Slack workspace. So we can create Slack channel to from the incident, and all the updates and status of the incidents, we can track it in the Slack channel directly. So this way we can help the team to step in faster during the incidents. And also we can create a Microsoft Team chats and meetings to get the notification and collaboration and the incidents within the team. And also we can create a Zoom meeting. So just a minute, go back to, yeah. And also we can create, we can start the Zoom meetings to resolve the incidents within the team also. Yeah, next slide, please. The next point here, we can send updates to internal stakeholders. So the stakeholders are people who are not the responders of an incident, but they can be updated about an incident progress to take the precautions and actions. And we can also send updates to stakeholders by sending the messages from this inform stakeholder option. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, this is one of the recent feature introduced in incident management, that is post-incident reviews. So post-incident reviews, it will bring the people and teams together to discuss on the details of an incident, like why it happened, what impact it had, and what actions were taken to resolve this incident, and how to prevent it from happening again. And once these all PRs are approved and reviewed with the management, so we can export this into a Confluence page or PDFs or Word document for our future references. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so this is one of the most new feature in incident management, that is alerts. So we can create incident from the alerts. So we can integrate our JSM with Auxiliary for this will allow us to efficient way of managing the incident management process. So by automatically creating an incident from the alerts. So this helps ensure the critical issues are prioritized and addressed effectively. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. And also we can integrate 200 plus integration monitoring tools from the JSM. And also we can integrate with REST API and HTTPS over JSON, and integrate even within any application that can send in emails. So this is about the monitoring tool integration with incident management. Yeah, next slide, please. And we have a featured integration from the incident management, that is we can integrate Sharewell, SolarWinds, SignalFX, and Jira and Slack. So these are the featured integration available in incident management now. Yeah, next slide. And this is about change management. So change management is a structured process that helps organization manage changes to an IT service, ensuring only minimal disruptions and maintaining the service quality. And even we can integrate a change JSM with the CI/CD tools to create a change request automatically in Jira. So, so whenever any pull request is merged in the CI/CD tools, right? So we can create a change request automatically in the JSM. And when deployment is successful and it is approved, then only the change request should move to next stage in the JSM. And even we can configure CI/CD tools to trigger the risk assessment before the deployments, ensuring only the low risk changes are pushed to production, or else it will not move to production. And then even if the change is deemed as high risk, we can also set up some rules to prevent the deployment until the further review. So this way we can monitor the progress of all the change requests directly from the CI/CD tools. Yeah, this is about the change management. Yeah, I think you can take over here.
Yeah, thank you, Lama. So as you've seen, like for every different standard service management, be it incident management, change management, JSM provides the different types of feature. So I'll just quickly cover, like, let's say if you are having the multiple incident for a particular product, it becomes a problem for you, and you have to enable the problem management. So JSM supports all those kind of management, and for problem you can use the JSM to make sure how you effectively correlate all your incident within one problem, and once that is fixed, how you can do the proper root cause analysis with the JSM the capabilities. So JSM is well equipped to cater all your ITSM requirement. So coming back to this slide, so here we are covering a bit about the asset management. So unlike some of the tools, where you might be leveraging some tool to track your ITSM practices like service request, incident change, but you might be tracking your IT asset or the services into different tool or different product. So you might be having the hard time to integrate your ITSM platform and your asset platform together. Or if you have integrated, it might be the heavy maintenance for you to keep that integration. So here, the good thing about this asset is it's an inbuilt feature, it's out of box function of the JSM. So here you can track your be it your IT asset with like laptop, hardware, software, or be it your services, or be it for people management. So you can do all those of management in CMDB using the inbuilt feature of the JSM. And one of the good part is it is tightly coupled with your portal. So let's say if you are having some portal for employee onboarding, offboarding, or incident, you can have the asset powered custom field which will directly fetch your asset data like your laptops, your services, let's say your products directly into JSM portal, and you can use the power of your CMDB within the JSM portal. So moving to the next slide, please. So here we are showing you one of the example. So we have a facility team and they have so many assets in company, like let's say fire extinguisher, they have the company owned vehicle, audio video room, etc. So how easily you can track it in as a CMDB within JSM. So here is the one of the example, like they have the audio video room, everything is linked with each other. So if you query one particular area, you will see what is the expiry date, when is the maintenance due, what is the purchase date of that particular asset, is it in warranty, is it assigned to someone, or is it available to use. All kind of tracking you can do with the JSM asset management. You can do the audit and compliance reporting as well. So coming to the next slide. And this is the one of the very interesting and powerful feature of the JSM is the Atlassian analytics. So sometimes what happens, you want in order to create a report, you might be having some of your data into external databases like Postgres, MySQL, or the Postgres, or the Amazon, or the Google Sheet, for example. So JSM provides the powerful feature to connect your external data sources within your Atlassian ecosystem, and you can also connect your Atlassian platform like Jira, JSM, Confluence as an Atlassian analytic data lake. So using all this connection, you can create a holistic insight reports. You can also analyze the data the way you want. You can speed up your decision. So if you can move to the next slide. So here is the one of the example of the Atlassian data lake analytics. So based on the different team, be it IT team, HR team, operation team, this gives the wide range of reports as a template. So for example, let's say I'm in in an operation team, and I want to create a KRs and KPIs to see what is my created versus resolved incident ratio, what is my uptime, what is my downtime, how many SLA, how many percent of SLA I met, how many percent of SLAs were breached. All those kind of reports, you can directly use these templates and get started. Yeah, so coming back to next slide. So over to you, Aradhna, to covering the most important feature and the interesting part of this webinar, how you can use the AI with JSM. So Aradhna.
All right, for sure. And I think before that, we'll take a quick poll. So Fatima is going to be putting a poll on the screen right now for all of you to engage. And by the way, keep your questions coming in. There are very, very good questions coming through. And we'll also endeavor to summarize that as well. I think this question, Fatima, we have already, oh no, this is the one. What features or capabilities would you like to see in your ITSM tool? Improved automation, enhanced analytics and reporting that Hardik just showed, better integration with other tools, or AI-powered features? Very confusing. You might want all, right? All right, let's keep your poll coming.
Let's see, what are you expecting from the features and capabilities?
Yes, and maybe we should just bring up the poll question, poll response. Yes, I think maybe Fatima.
Yeah.
Good time to bring up the poll response.
Yes, we can go with the answers.
Yes. So what does the poll response look like? Okay, wow, improved automations. Everybody wants automation. All right, okay, great. That's good. And followed by reporting and analytics. Wonderful, very great. Only 18% people said that they want AI-powered features. So I'll cover AI in JSM, and hopefully that will change the poll results next time around. All right. Okay. Fatima, can I move on with the
Yes,
next
yes.
bit?
Please,
All right.
let's
Perfect.
start.
Thank you. All right. I'm just going to be sharing my screen. Just confirm you all can see my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see your screen, Aradhana.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. And let me just present this now. Give me a minute. Awesome. All right. So in the next, hopefully 10 to 12 minutes, I would like to cover quickly about what are the AI-powered capabilities in JSM. So what is AI in the first place? Is it artificial intelligence or is it Atlassian intelligence? So from our perspective, Atlassian intelligence, it is not artificial intelligence, but Atlassian intelligence. And Atlassian intelligence is a collection of AI-powered capabilities that is built into the entire Atlassian platform. So as you know, AI is a hot topic disrupting every industry these days. And we have embraced two forms of AI in JSM. It's called assistive AI and generative AI. And I will also show you some examples of how this works in JSM. So first and foremost, I will talk about three key capabilities or outcomes that we achieve with AI in JSM. One is unlock answers. When you say unlock answers, it means instant, always on support. So basically, you're looking at 24/7 support with the power of a virtual service agent at the backend. Your second one is around accelerating tasks. So what that basically means is if you've got any time-consuming task, then you're trying to accelerate that task so that you can basically free up agents' time to do more useful work. And last but not the least, getting started quickly. So Hardik also showed you how there are templates available, and we will see how AI makes that even more efficient. So basically, you're going to be using the power of AI to streamline the process of getting started with a new service desk or a new service project. And that's particularly very, very beneficial for business teams like HR, legal, finance, facilities, and so on. All right, now we'll take a look at what virtual agent is. And today I will cover about virtual agent on the portal as well as virtual agent on Slack, which is one of the communication channels that most organizations use today. So first and foremost, we've got virtual agent on the help center. So do you know why we even have the virtual agent in the first place? We started off with something called as chat in JSM, which basically is available in both Slack and Microsoft Teams. So what chat allows you to do is basically capture the request, manage the request, and resolve the request directly from your chat tools, whether you're using Slack or Microsoft Teams. But that involves a human agent. And it's usually very, very difficult to scale if you're resource constrained or you're basically looking at a large organization. So that's where we brought about virtual agent. So what you see here is basically virtual agent on the help center. So we've got virtual agent on the portal that's currently in open beta, but we have the virtual agent on the help center, which is basically the landing page when you come into JSM as an end user. So what you see here is I've put in a question that says, can I use my Sydney Access badge for the San Francisco office? And what the virtual agent then does is basically it comes back with the answers whilst you're on the help center. So if you see here, the virtual agent has come back with a summary of the response and also links to the linked knowledge articles in Confluence, the knowledge articles that are linked to your Confluence space, which comes with JSM. So that's an example of virtual agent on the help center. Now, you basically have two types of virtual agents. And before I get into the Slack, I will talk about the two types of virtual agents that are available as well. And in fact, you have both of these available on the Help Center portal. That we just saw was virtual agent using AI answers, which is where it was looking up at the knowledge article and coming back with a response. Now, looking at virtual agent on Slack, so you can basically configure the virtual agent in two types. Now, one of the types is basically intent flows. And what that basically does is, with this, you're going to be crafting a predefined custom conversation based on what the help seeker responds to the virtual agent. And then you have got a second one, which basically is AI answers, which is where it uses the generative AI to search across your linked knowledge base, and it generates the responses. So what you saw on the help center was actually virtual agent using AI answers. Now we have virtual agent on Slack, and we have both of these available. Virtual agent on Microsoft Teams is just come up in open beta today to customers, and will start getting rolled out to customers. So if you look at the first one, we'll talk about virtual agent using intents. So if you see here, the virtual agent using intent is basically where you're trying to create an intent, and you will basically create training phrases to train the virtual intent, virtual agent. So for example, if you need a password to be reset, for example, you will create an intent that says password reset, and then you will train the virtual agent with training phrases, because as an end user, I could say, I need my account to be unlocked. I need my password to be reset. I could say, I could have multiple different versions of statements. So that's the first bit. And if you see on the right-hand side, we also have templates available for virtual agent. So password reset, we have a template, and it's also looking at your past data and surfacing some of those most commonly recurring issues for the virtual agent. So now if you see password reset is one such example. Now, if you see here, what we basically go on to do is basically create that virtual intent, or the intent that uses the virtual agent. Now I'll play a quick small video and we'll see what happens here. So Nick is a user, and he comes on Slack and he says, I've logged out of my WizLearn account again. So note, he did not use the term password reset. He says, I got locked out of your account, and virtual agent comes into action at the backend and says, did you try recovering your password? And Nick says, yes, I did try recovering my password. So now the virtual agent goes back into action, and it then automatically resets the password. So here it's probably made a webhook connection to Azure, and it's gone back and reset the password, and it comes back and presents the results to Nick and says, okay, your password has been reset. Are you satisfied with the service? And then he gives a 5-star here. So basically, if you see that end-to-end workflow, it's not used a knowledge article here, but it's basically used an entire custom conversation flow to give an end-to-end response without having to raise a ticket here. So there's a lot of shift left that's happened here. Now moving on to the next one. Sorry, yeah, this is Pro. Okay, so now we look at virtual agent using AI answers. Now this is where the virtual agent uses your linked knowledge base and it generates answers. So let's take a look at this here. Now, in this example, Nick comes back and he says, hey, my magical private network or my VPN has stopped working. Do you know if there are any issues at this point in time? So do you see the virtual agent goes back into action, and now it comes back with a summary of the response and also links to the knowledge articles and presents Nick with a response. And it also takes feedback from Nick as well if that issue has been resolved, and also gives the option to Nick to basically rate give a satisfaction rating as well. So here as well, if you see, the virtual agent has used AI answers. It's basically gone back and looked at the knowledge articles, and it's come back with a response. All right, so what we saw here was basically virtual agent using the intent, and we also saw virtual agent using AI answers. So that was the first theme about unlock support 24/7. Now we'll take a look at the second theme, which is accelerate work. So what is it that basically Atlassian Intelligence does in terms of accelerating work? So if you see here, we have got smart summaries in JSM built in. So this is the agent view, and there is, for example, a long-running ticket that has been logged for an end user who has spilled coffee on the laptop and now probably needs a new laptop. And think of it as you've got a long-running ticket that's probably gone between multiple agents or multiple hands. An agent finishes up a shift and he comes back to the next shift. And then that's where virtual agent comes in and basically helps to summarize. So you can use AI summaries, and that comes back with basically a summary of the response. So another thing that you can do is also change the tone of the response to empathetic. So you basically can, this is where the virtual agent comes in and basically changes the tone of the response, much like how you would probably rewrite something using ChatGPT. So that's another capability with AI. What virtual agent can also do is basically automatically assign issues to assignees based on the type of issues that have happened in the past. So that's another capability of the virtual agent. Last but not the least, what you can also do is create knowledge articles using the virtual agent. So if you see here, I've just put in a request to the virtual agent and said, hey, can you basically put in a page on Atlassian Intelligence, and this is what the Atlassian Intelligence comes back with. So these are some of the capabilities to basically accelerate the flow of work. Now I'll talk about the third one, and I think I just need to keep a tab of time as well. It's already 8 minutes to the hour. So the last one is basically getting started off with. So if you see here, and Hardik explained to you earlier that you can create request types. Request types are nothing but catalogs in JSM. You can create that using a template, or you can create that using AI. So what I did here was I came into JSM and I told the virtual agent that I'm part of an HR team and I manage onboarding, and I wanted the AI to basically create request types here. So what AI does here is goes into action, and if you see here, it's come back and it's created or presented me with some request types or service catalogs, if you may say so, in ITIL, for onboarding. So it's come back with onboarding new employees, setting up new employees, entitlement checks, and I'm free to choose which one I want. So I'll probably go ahead with the first one that says onboard new employees. So that's what we saw with regards to the different features here today. We saw virtual agent, we saw AI answers, where virtual agent uses the AI answers capability. We also saw issue summaries. We saw generative AI in the editor, which is where virtual agent went back and it created a knowledge article in Confluence. And then we saw how virtual agent can also configure request types in a project. So that's AI project configuration. Now, just before, a quick recap here, we have a utility provider in the UK, which is basically OVO Energy. It's an energy technology leader in the UK. And OVO Energy benefited from using the virtual agent. So what it basically got was, after implementing the virtual agent, was faster response times of the tickets, also increased capacity. Why? Because it was able to free up agents' time working on the tickets, reduced context switching because people were able to ask questions from the chat channel like Slack or Microsoft Teams that they needed help from, and also improve knowledge sharing. So basically it gave the ability to improve the knowledge articles that are there, because you can rate the quality of the response that you get from the virtual agent when they present you with knowledge articles, and you can actually say, was it helpful or not? And then that basically gives you an opportunity to go back and improve your knowledge articles. So that's another outcome that they basically realized as a result of virtual agent. Now, just on a closing note, some of the key functionalities that we are working on in JSM with regards to AI, I spoke about the issue summary. So that's something that we have already implemented. We are working on suggested responses, which is basically where AI will have the capability to even generate a response, an appropriate response to a ticket based on the history of history of tickets, and it will also be able to surface relevant knowledge articles. We spoke about virtual agents. So virtual agents is currently already on Slack in GA, or it's generally available. It's coming in Microsoft Teams. In fact, it's already in open beta, so it will be in GA very soon. We are also working on a capability where the agent will automatically assign tickets to assignees or to the resolver groups based on the location, priority, or the experience of the agent. And last but not the least, we also have optimized queues, where basically it will be able to create queues based on the type of tickets that have come through. So with this, I will just probably pause, and we will go back to the Q&A where we had questions. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Aradhana, for your insightful session. We can go with the Q&A session now.
Sure. Sure. I think there have been quite a few questions. So
Yeah.
what we could do is I could quickly, start off with probably some of the key questions that came through that we also answered whilst the session was on.
Yeah.
There were questions questions around licensing. So one was, if a user has Jira software license, does he need a license for Jira Service Management, given that these are two different products? So yes, these are two different products, but if you are a Jira software license user, then you basically don't need an additional license. With your Jira software license, you can access JSM, you can access ticket information in JSM using a collaborator role. So that was one of the questions around licensing that came through. There was also there was another question around, so what sort of tool integrations do we have for communication and collaboration? Do we have Google Meet? So right now, when there is a major incident, for example, we have native integration with Slack, Microsoft Teams, and with Zoom, which means you can basically initiate a chat channel with the responder teams on Slack and Microsoft Teams, and you can initiate a conference call using Zoom. We don't have that. We don't have Google Meets natively integrated, but there are, of course, marketplace applications that also allow for G Suite integration with JSM. All right. Do we want to take any other questions?
Aradhana, I think
Yes.
there is a good question by Yanto. Yanto is asking, I am using Jira only for managing the project, but I see JSM is like tool that my company want to leverage. So if we create a ticket in JSM, for example, 2022, but we forget the entire summary. So can JSM show all the ticket with the keyword? Like, they remember the keyword only, not the entire summary.
Okay, so you're basically trying to search in JSM using a keyword.
Using keyword. Yeah,
in JSM? I'm assuming you're trying to search in JSM using a keyword.
Right.
We should be able to use the filters to search on the summary and say, like, something like when you say, right, I want to search by probably the keyword that I had used. It could be maybe a billing issue or something like that. We should be able to search using that. Yeah. But yes, you're right, Yanto. Jira is basically for project management. It's more of a project management tool, whereas JSM is a tool basically for service management, which is where you're doing an intake of work, whether it's incidents or it's requests or problems or changes. So anything that you can think of associated with ITIL is where JSM comes into the play. Yeah. How many? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we have a few more questions as well. So there is one. Actually, two people asked the same question. Can I integrate the JSM form into my website?
Hardik, do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure, Aradhana, yeah. So definitely, like as Aradhana mentioned, JSM is a multi-channel supported platform. Your customer can leverage the preferred method to raise a ticket. So one is the like email, like many people are used to email, sending the email like support@mycompany.com, and it will raise a ticket. Similar way, if you are more flexible with your website, you can very easily create the form in JSM, and if it will generate a code, you can embed that code to your website, and your entire form which is available in JSM portal, same code would be reflected over your website. So you can also, you can definitely integrate your JSM form with the website, not just one form. Let's say you have 3 important form for different team, you can also integrate 3 different form to 3 different pages of your website. So there is no such limitation, and you can use the power of JSM to integrate to your website. And not just website, any other tool which is supporting the iframing or which is supporting the HTML coding, etc. You can embed anywhere which is supporting the iframe macros.
There's one interesting question that's come. How can end users be kept updated on the incident progress? So that's a very, very good question, and thanks for bringing it up. So we have got something called as the help center, right? So if you remember, that's basically our landing page, and Hardik also showed you that. So from an end user perspective, you come into the help center to basically log a ticket. In fact, if there is a major incident that's running in the organization, we basically encourage you to use that announcements on the help center, where you can publish stating that, yes, we are aware that there is a major incident with regards to billing applications not being working functionally. We are investigating the issue. So, and please be advised that we'll keep you posted when the service is restored. So that means then, when end users are coming in to the portal to log a ticket, they already see that announcement there. Now, secondly, when you're running a major incident, there's also a mechanism by means of which you can keep stakeholders also updated. When I say stakeholders, they are people who are not agents in JSM, but it could probably be your leadership teams, for example, that need to be updated when a major incident is running, and you can use the informed stakeholders. So Halama had showed that on the screen as well, how you can use that informed stakeholders to basically notify people via an email on the progress of an incident. Yeah.
Thank you, Aradhana, for bringing this up. Thank you, everyone, for your questions and for joining the session. I hope this session is very insightful for you. We will get back to you with the remaining answers via email or any channel. Yes, please take a moment to fill the survey form after the session is over. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, team.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Aradhana. Thank you, Hardik. Thank you,
Thank you,
Shrikant. And
Aradhana.
thank you, Halama.